Hey guys, it's Generalkidd here. How's everyone doing today? So, for today's video, we are going to be taking a look at what grunts look like when they get infected by the Flood in Halo 3. But before we get into that, I want to first give a big shout out to my sponsor, Instant Gaming. If you are in the market for some cheap games or great deals on other games, then look no further than Instant Gaming. Here you'll be able to find great deals on many of your favorite games across numerous platforms, so if that's something you're in the market for and want to help support my channel in the process, then feel free to check it out via the link in the description below. So, as you probably know, grunts normally in Halo 3 can't get infected by the Flood. Only humans, brutes, and elites can get infected by the Flood. And then if you want to count the pure forms as well, then there you go. However, technically in lore, grunts sort of can get infected by the Flood. They technically don't have enough biomass to get infected, but the Flood do still have use for them, which I'll explain in a little bit once you see what I've decided to turn the grunts into when they get infected by the Flood. So, here we go. One infection form climbs in, and poof. There we go. The grunt, when it gets infected by the Flood, in my interpretation at least, turns into a Flood carrier. Although it's not really my interpretation because, according to Halo lore, and I'm no lore expert, but I'm quite positive that according to Halo lore, when grunts, they don't actually get infected by the Flood, but they do get used by the Flood for their biomass, and they get combined with other creatures that aren't large enough to support a Flood infection. And then they kind of make some kind of like Flood mashed potatoes with all these grunts and other species that can't get infected. And then that little mashed potato of Flood biomass is used to create Flood carriers. So Flood carriers, if I recall, according to Halo lore, they are created in one of two ways. One way is they are Flood combat forms that are, nearing the end of their lifespan, and they can convert into a Flood carrier. And number two is, like I said, they are a mashed potato of other creatures that aren't large enough to support a Flood combat form, such as a grunt that we see here. So let's watch that again in slow motion as it climbs in and turns it into a Flood carrier. So unfortunately, the grunts, they don't have like any infection animations. So that's why when the infection form climbs in, the grunt's body just kind of stands still the entire time and then just suddenly goes poof and turns into a Flood carrier. Normally, if you see like a dead body from like a human, a brute, or an elite get infected, it spazzes out first before turning into a combat form. But in this case, that's not the case with the grunt. Now, I've showed you what they look like when they get infected while they're dead. I tried to do it while they're alive, but unfortunately, that would not work for some reason. I even tried the method where I went on Floodgate, and then I replaced the Marines that are scripted to get infected with the grunts. But it just didn't work. They, as you saw there, the ones that were scripted to get infected by the Flood, they kind of moved around a little bit, and then they just dropped dead, and their tanks exploded off their backs, which I have no idea why that happens. I have no explanation for that. This method has always worked with other creatures that we've done in the past, like Hunters, Lord Hood, Cortana, I think. But no, for some reason, even though they're scripted to just transform into a Flood, instead of just going poof and turning into a Flood carrier, the grunts, they just, I don't know, nothing happens to them. It's almost like they're immune to getting infected while still alive. But yeah, so unfortunately I can't show you what they look like when they get infected while still alive, but at least you saw what they look like when they get infected while they're dead. But yeah, so just a little short video for today, but hopefully you guys did find this to be interesting, and if you did enjoy this video, then as always, make sure to leave a like. Leave your thoughts in the comments if there's anything else you want me to check out, or turn into a Flood next, or something like that. Just let me know, and I'll do my best to get around to it soon when I can. But other than that, if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to my channel, and I will see you all next time. Bye guys!